Banter! Just kidding, we are in your local movie theater parking lot. I'm Mara.
And I'm Gio.
And we are fresh out the film.
Incredibly fresh out the film,
Yeah.
dude. Fresh out of... Oh, well, I was about to reveal the film that we saw. We're not. We're fresh out of a film that was, as far as theater experience goes, I think one of our best.
Yeah, yes.
Maybe the best.
Yes, in a different theater than our typical, theater.
Yep. We drove an hour and a half for this one.
Yes, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The probably the nicest theater we've ever been to.
100%. And the most genius setup of a theater that I've ever seen.
It just, like, felt, like, very, like, old, like when you see, like, a movie theater in a movie, like, it felt like that. Like, 100%. I like the thing of going up the stairs.
Yes. Yeah, that was because you get in at the kind of main level, and then you walk through these double doors, and then instantly it's just, like, massive sets of stairs with escalators in the middle. And little do you know, if you look up above you, and you have some sort of X-ray vision, you could see all of the seats from the IMAX theater. So it's literally, like, right there. So you're going up under it, dude.
Yeah.
You can enter on either side. It's so cool.
Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah, I mean, and the screen, obviously, was much larger than we're used to.
Yes, for sure. And it was also completely packed. We're here on opening night. It was difficult to get tickets. I had to, like, very quickly get them. So it was, like, every single seat was filled.
Yes. Opening night, and it's the 70mm IMAX showing, which is incredibly sought after. They all sold out, like, across the country within 24 hours or whatever.
Yeah.
On the first day. So, it's a feat that we're here, Mara. Well done.
Yeah, it was sick.
Bye.
We got some cool posters.
Yeah, for free.
In line. Just handing them out, so...
Posters, popcorn buckets were gone, sadly. The popcorn bucket options,
all
which
gone.
were really cool options.
But, you know, should you spend $50 to $60 on a popcorn bucket? That's up to you, you know?
Yes. I have one more thing about theater experience. It's before the movie began, but we have to reveal the movie before I say it, because it just came into my mind.
You're keeping it so secret as if it's not, like, the title of the episode.
Yeah, no, that's
You know, I can do my breakdown and then we can talk about whatever else you need.
It was just so funny, man.
The movie that we saw today, if somehow you did not see it and that's not the reason why you clicked on this in the first place, is the Odyssey. Hell yeah. Directed and adapted for screenplay by Christopher Nolan.
Yes.
The composer for the film is Ludwig Göransson, starring Matt Damon, Tom Holland, Anne Hathaway, ton of other people. The cinematography was done by Hoyte van Hoytema, and the budget for this movie was $250 million. Now, typically this is the time where I would talk about how much money that it made in opening weekend, but it's like opening weekend hasn't even technically started yet.
So we'll say, what, over $5?
Yeah. I could guess that it would make over $5.
Yeah, so,
we could be generous and say it could make over $6.
That might be pushing it.
Okay, yeah, that's a little too far, And also, not all of the reviews have come in, so there's nothing for IMDb, which I also typically read. So I have Letterboxd, which is a 4.3 out of 5, and then the Rotten Tomatoes, both the critic and the audience score, were 96%.
Interesting. Both the critic and the audience at the same level.
Yes.
Wow. That's inspiring.
Well, I feel like we'll see some change, like, now that it's actually
Definitely.
the actual release.
Yeah, people listening to this later, this is probably, like, old news. Like, it's probably nowhere around this
Yeah,
anymore.
they probably look very different.
Yeah. Well, what can you do, man? We're fresh out the film.
Yeah.
You know?
That's how it is when you're fresh out the film.
That's interesting. This is one, this is one of those that I think it would be hard for critics to pick apart, because if you are going to pick apart stuff, I think it has to be Maybe you could do it some performances. I don't know if you just don't like the people, but I think it'd have to be from a narrative perspective. And how you're going to go pick apart one of the greatest stories of all time. You know, the most legendary journeys in the last however many thousand years.
Right.
So, that makes sense. I think that'll stay high.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Is it to my thing now?
Yeah.
Okay, dude. So, we're in 70 millimeter, right? But we got in the theater, okay, and we were sitting for a long time. And then the thing starts. We actually had a lady walk in first, if you want to talk about that real fast. Should we?
About the lady?
The lady walks in and got us all hyped up for the movie.
Yeah.
Saying she was starting it late.
You know, she was really, like, it seemed like everyone else was like, people are late.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
we were excited.
No, we did. We were in our seats way before. But then the first thing comes on. It's a trailer for Dune Part 3, right? And so pretty much everybody was in their seats, and this trailer starts going, and I see this couple walk in, right? And the trailer's being played. It's in like full IMAX, right? And I was just thinking to myself, as the war is like going down on whatever planet this is, how funny it must have been if they thought that was the Odyssey that they were late for, especially because it started late, so they probably thought, and then you walk in and you see like a sci-fi war breaking out. Oh my god, Nolan really taking the Odyssey into not just the present, the future. Oh my goodness.
That's so funny.
Dude, I remember thinking that while we were in there, so I had to say it.
Yeah, because it wasn't like it was just like a clip.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it wasn't an actual trailer. That's a very important. Yeah, it was
so you could totally believe that the movie had just already started. And they just, oh, that's so funny.
Oh, it's too good, dude. Too good.
It's good. It's good shit.
But yeah, after that, the movie actually began. But we're not there yet.
Well, are we not?
I don't think so.
That's where I'm going next, so I don't know.
I have a little bit of controversy. We could skip over the controversy.
No,
if we want.
Go ahead.
Well,
we didn't discuss this in depth.
We did
what
not.
Categories we're gonna.
We did not. Basically, there was a ton of controversy for this movie, and I mean, it's almost too much to be able to discuss, and so much of it is just there's a lot of transphobic stuff, there's a lot of racist stuff, there's a lot of I don't know, just bad, just things that I don't really want to talk about that badly, because it would just be us dismissing them pretty much and saying how stupid they are,
right?
For the most part. So, I don't know, I had this list here, but it's literally taken me to, like, Instagram to go through a bunch of stuff. Oh, and I'm out of screen time on Instagram. So that's the universe telling you right there. If you came here for the Odyssey controversy, I don't think we're the spot. Unless there's... Do you know any of the ones that went down?
I mean, yeah, I heard all of this stuff with like, Elliot Page going down.
Yeah.
Which was just, like, so wild.
It was wild, especially considering his role in all this. Like,
right.
When all is said and done watching this movie, it's like, what the hell? What is the problem?
Exactly.
So crazy.
But, like, I don't want to talk about that, because that just goes into the point of, like, it's just, like, people just, like, care, like, way too much about, like, what trans people are doing with their lives. And it doesn't actually matter. No. And he was such a small part of the movie.
Exactly.
And, like, is a good actor and played the role well. So it's like, the fuck is your problem?
I do think if you're coming into this movie, it is kind of interesting. The first two scenes, like, if you've heard a lot about the controversy, right? The first two scenes, back to back, Travis Scott and Elliot Page. Two bits of controversy. It's just, like, I mean, that's...
Yeah, like, the
right
two people were hating on, like, the most about being on
Which kind of made me think...
right off the bat.
Kind of made me think there were going to be larger characters in the movie.
Right.
Which they did not end up being. So, yeah, I mean, if we don't really need to talk about that, then let's hop into the story.
Yeah.
First, we have to put out a spoiler warning for everybody. a major spoiler warning. We're a full spoiler podcast, so if you haven't watched the film, don't listen.
If you somehow don't know what happened in the Odyssey,
Dude, if you
which is possible, no judgment. Nor did I.
So this story is going to be messy too, right? Because there was no actual synopsis like we normally get. I hadn't actually seen the film yet, right? So I have not been able to read this until this very moment. So this could be either very good or very bad. So
it's gonna be great. It's all gonna work out.
Let's begin. The film begins 8 years after the end of the Trojan War. Odysseus he's having flashbacks of the war from his current sea journey and present-day struggles in Ithaca. Oh boy. This is giving me very little to work with here, to be completely honest. But it opens first, and we are inside of a castle in Ithaca, and we're hearing a story about Odysseus. And it's cool because we're flashing, because as he's talking about Odysseus on a ship and the horse and everything, Travis Scott's like, he's putting a little staff into the ground, making a beat over and over. He's rapping. We eventually get interrupted by Anne Hathaway, who is also known as, in this movie, Penelope. Do you know anything about Penelope in general?
I don't.
I kind of thought Anne Hathaway was playing a god in this, so at the start I was kind of confused. Especially because she brings that goddess energy, I think.
That's so real.
Like, no matter what she's really doing.
Yeah. I think we should be clear and say that both of us, and I'll speak for you because I think this is true, don't have that much knowledge of Greek mythology.
Yes.
So, just be aware of that when we're talking about stuff we don't. That's not our forte necessarily.
We have very, very little knowledge. That is true. Yeah. And most of mine comes from Percy Jackson and the Troy movie. Which, I don't know if you knew, but Nolan almost directed that movie.
Oh.
So he was almost within this vein already.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So, basically, shit's going down at Ithaca, right? Because Odysseus is gone, and everybody there they're all suitors. They're all trying to become a potential wife, or no, potential husband of Penelope and take the throne, essentially. But you also have Telemachus. Telemachus?
Yeah.
How do you say it?
I think you said it right.
Telemachus, who...
I don't think it's that one.
This is Tom Holland's character, Telemachus? Is that not what I said? Telemachus? Is that it?
I think that's the one.
Telemachus? Could you look up that pronunciation real fast for me? Semi-important character here. This is Tom Holland. And he kind of sets off this. He's very much looked down upon by all the suitors, specifically Robert Pattinson's character, whom I do not know the name of, and I might also need some help on it while you're on Google. And they all don't like him because he is a potential new king. And Telemachus. There it is. There's a lot of... I mean, that's not the hardest name I'm going to come across in this one, dude. So
it's one of the easier ones, unfortunately.
Telemachus is very much wanting to find his father, which, I mean, he's having his father's stories dangled over his head. He's been gone for many, many years, and he has conversations with his mom about this. And one of the problems for... Telemachus also thinks that he can be a king, and I'm not sure if this happens now, because this story is very difficult to follow naturally.
I think it's okay if we sort of jump around in the story as long as we get all the points, because it's already jumping around.
Yeah, 100%. But Tom Holland. Otherwise known as Telemachus, has a need to go and find his father. That is a very big part of the story. And he's going to go talk to Menelaus to do that. Or, is that how they end up saying it? Do they say Menelaus? I think they pronounce it different. But Menelaus is fine, because that's how they pronounce it in Troy, I'm telling you. And they switch some shit up in this.
It works, man. It works.
As you know. And from, like, off rip, obviously I was astounded by the 70mm more than anything. Just kind of jaw on the floor for all of this.
Yeah.
But the story, the way it was being set up was really, really clever. Because you have this whole Ithaca story going down, right? But then you're also, I don't remember how long it is. You know, there's definitely not a 3-act structure, this movie. But you also have Odysseus. And you don't exactly know what time period he's in, so you're not sure, if you haven't read the story, which it's not a lot of people, if he's alive. But he's off with Charlize Theron. What's her name again? Oh man, this is hard. Calypso. He's off with Calypso in the desert and, remembering things about his life. So at the same time as we're in Ithaca, we're also going over to this desert world and being put into a third narrative line about what happened for Odysseus to get to where he is now.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy. So we're starting in Ithaca. We're going to the same time at where Odysseus is, and then we're going back to the story, and that's how we're recounting a lot of it as Odysseus is remembering.
Yeah. And it is confusing, and especially as you're explaining it, it's confusing how they do it, but how it comes together and how you're watching it, it makes it so fast-paced, and you do not feel bored when you're watching it whatsoever.
Exactly.
Because you're like, oh, now we're going into a story,
yes.
But no, we're actually seeing this, very action-packed story.
Exactly. You're always in flashback mode, pretty much, all the time. And it's the Nolan flashbacks that we were just talking about a little while ago, where it's not, a lot of the times it's not full flashbacks, though in this movie it kind of is, but that's really the whole narrative. It's those little flashes, the small scenes of, there's this whole storyline with this dog that stays alive for Odysseus to come back, and you see little flashes of the dog when he was a little pup. And also with John Leguizamo's character, when he's training Tom Holland, they have flashbacks to the kids and everything like that. And it's just it's this crazy spiderweb of storytelling.
It is. I cannot imagine how you would even begin to try to put that all together. It's
a massive blackboard,
insane.
right? I don't even. You have to. There's so many different.
I feel like
things
my brain would
together.
break.
Well, that's what's interesting too, right? Because the Odyssey's told like this, or I don't know if to this extent split up, but it's told. Somebody's telling the story. I think it's Odysseus telling the story. Is that it? And then it's going back to it. But because I heard interviews of Nolan talking about how when he was making Memento, he thought he was doing something new with I call it fractured storytelling. I forget what he calls it, but it's where you shift the narrative around and flip different scenes up into different orders. And he thought he was doing something new, but he then read the Odyssey and realized that 3,000 years ago Homer was already doing this.
Right.
So they do it to an extent in the book. Can't be to this extent, I doubt it. The set pieces in this movie are also thinking about the fact that it's all practical. Because we spend a lot of time on the water that we're not really talking about. What did you think about because we can go anywhere with this story because they go anywhere right as they talk about it pretty much. There's a lot of just time spent with Odysseus and his army, I guess, the people who was fighting with him after he left the Battle of Troy, and he's on his way back. How do you think they did with those characters?
Well, I feel like there was pretty much only one other significant soldier,
Ramesh
right?
Patel's character, yeah.
Yeah. That was pretty much it, and other than that, they didn't really have any development. What's you know what I mean? There were no personalities.
I know.
But that also how would we have gone into all of these personalities about these soldiers and then had to, like, feel bad, and then their ending is so, like...
It would have been hard.
Like, strange and, like, weird that it's, like, if we got connected to any of those characters, like,
Yeah.
It just makes it difficult. And then it goes into all of the things that were, like, happening actually, like, during the war and what he kind of thinks back, on and how it was kind of the turd, sort of.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
It was interesting because we just spent so much time with these characters versus others that were more significant.
Yeah.
But then we knew better because of that significance. So it was just like if you would have gave a little more attention, just like one or two more guys within that group, for me would have been nice. Because it was insane how much of the movie we're about to get into what actually happened on the all the places that they stopped, right? But how much of the movie we were actually there, and how much of the guys got lines of dialogue too.
Yeah.
You know, but I don't know. You're right. We kind of had their like surrogate with Himesh Patel at the top, anyways. You know,
and it was all just kind of like that was all of the other soldiers' mindset was just like
exactly.
Him.
Yeah, I was interested about. Do you know anything about the power dynamics there? Because Odysseus is the fucking king, and they were very much on Himesh Patel's side very early.
Well, I think it got to the point where I don't feel like they were on his side super early.
Really?
I feel like it got to the point of like, well, everyone is dying, and you're leading us, so why are we listening to you?
Yeah. They just didn't like. It was like they already had experience with Odysseus doing that, like having problems, just being distant or something. Like maybe it was they spent 10 years with him on the beach and things, so he's no longer a king to them. He's just human at that point, so it's easy for them to see logic rather than whatever the heck Odysseus is saying.
Right.
Though it's weird because sometimes Odysseus is right, at the worst times.
Yeah.
But yeah, do you want to get into where he goes? The Voyage of the Monsters?
Yeah.
Okay, so first, the Cyclops scene. So they go, basically what keeps happening every time they go to an island is they're running out of food. Odysseus is like, hold up, we're going to find something. Just keep going. And then at the last second they do. Like every time. It's pretty funny, honestly, dude. Like, Odysseus is just sure. But on that first island, they go up and they go into this little cave following a sheep. And they find that somebody's been staying there until, if you saw in the preview, that somebody ends up being a Cyclops who closes a door, like the cave on him, essentially.
Yep.
With a little piece. And then starts picking these guys off and eating them before he goes to sleep. Yep. And it's horrifying, dude. I mean, it's like...
Yeah, it's like you can, like, hear the sounds of, like, the Cyclops, like, eating those soldiers. Yeah. It's like you can, like, hear, like, the crunches. Like, it's I was thinking about that. I'm really interested in how they did those, like, sound effects that sound, like, so, like really pulling something apart.
I don't have anything on it, but I was thinking about it during the movie.
Yeah.
Literally, that same thing, and I was trying to listen. I definitely got whale.
Oh.
Totally was human in there, too.
Yeah.
Like, base level, I think it was a human screaming.
Right.
And then probably, whatever other car engine, a random, whatever random stuff the Foley artist or whoever is adding in there. Right. But I think whale I got from there.
Okay.
But no, the fact that that's all done practically.
Yeah. Wild.
How?
Wild.
I gotta, like, maybe check. There's no way that's all practical, right?
I can't imagine.
That's what I saw. I swear somebody in an interview was, like, in the Cyclops stuff and when they were talking about... But,
yeah,
I mean, this thing looks so good, and I mean, it's a Cyclops, but its face is so weird. It looks like deformed almost, man. It's really odd. But, I don't know. It's true horror movie during this scene. Cyclops grabbing people, but they eventually find a way, make a great plan. Odysseus, with his mind, his best weapon, they basically attach little bits of hay to their back and then crawl out with the sheep.
Yep.
It's a good plan. It's minor compared to the Trojan horse or something.
No, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? The next place that they go is, okay, it's not on here, but it's the island of the giants, we'll say, right? That's probably what it's called.
Is that next?
I think.
I can't remember the order.
Yeah, it is, because it was double giants and I was weirded out. Actually, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it is. It is. Because I knew it was coming, because that part was in the trailer. It was interesting. They left a lot out of the trailer, but I just hate when I'm pulled. I hate trailers in general. Because every time I see even a shot that's in the trailer, I'm like, oh, I've seen that before. And my brain just, like, pulls me out of the movie automatically.
That's so real.
But this next one, they're walking up through, just the woods, and they see this man, it looks like, in, like, full armor, just sitting down, facing away from them. They walk up, and this man stands up, and he's towering over them. And it turns out he's a boy. And they make this boy pretty mad after a while. He starts crying. He runs back. And in, like, almost a comedic way, dude, the kid goes back to get his mom. Here comes this army of giants, all in armor. Yep. Just, like, slaughtering people. There was one, they picked up a dude and threw him not into the tree, through the tree. He broke the tree, throwing it into him. Like, it was terrifying. So much of this movie is just Odysseus and his men getting off the ship, getting attacked, and running back to the ship.
Yeah.
It's actually insane.
And then it's like, go. Okay, we lost like 5 more people.
Exactly. That's all that also, that happened with the giant. The giant chased him out because Odysseus decided to shoot an arrow for no reason into his eye.
I forgot that. That was so annoying.
At least they had him...
I could, like, see you roll your eyes when he did that.
Yeah. At least they had him explain it, a second after. Yeah. Ramesh Patel's up in his face, like, why did you do that? And he's like... What did he say, even?
I don't even know what it is.
He gave some bullshit explanation. There's something about that, because it was the helmet. It was they showed a shot of the helmet falling of the person that this monster had killed right before he shot his arrow, so something connecting to that. Yeah. They lose a lot of people. They're down to 1 boat now after this whole giant situation, which is not good. And now, like, a lot of the Trojan, like, so we can set up the Trojan horse happens right before we get to Circe, and everybody knows the Trojan horse. Everybody loves the Trojan horse, but it was cool because.
So true.
I'm so doing my Trump impression right there. Everybody loves the Trojan horse.
No.
We get an intro to the Trojan horse very early in the movie, like we're talking about the second scene with Elliot Page, and it's basically Elliot, like, guards the horse and things, and you assume that people are inside of it, but it's also, like, buried in sand. So you're like, well, okay, maybe not. We're going to have to see how this plays out. I don't know about you, because it's just like...
Well, no, I was pretty sure there were people inside.
Every Trojan horse story I've ever seen happens on the doorstep. They pull it up...
But that's the thing of, like, I've never seen a Trojan horse other than the story of the people inside of it. So every time I see a Trojan horse, no matter where it is... It could be in the water, and I'm like, there's probably some people in there.
That's great. I thought maybe that they were scheming still or something, but maybe
like they hadn't gotten the people in the Trojan horse yet.
And they paid it off later. There are people in the Trojan horse. Who knew?
Best believe.
I'm so surprised. But they it is, like, visceral, these scenes inside the Trojan horse. To think about shooting this with a colossal IMAX camera and the packaging that it has to keep it silent is so funny. And they're just talking about, like, just all, like, just living in piss and shit and, like, just staying in there. People, like, freaking people, the tide coming up and people dying and, like, all this stuff. But finally, oh, boy. Trojans, of course, right? The Trojans. They come up and they accept the gift. They bring it in. They take an awful long time. Nobody asks, wow, this thing, must be something in this. I wonder what it's made out of, dude. It's awfully heavy horse we're pulling here. And they pull it all the way in. Not before a guy gets stabbed and they have to stop him from saying anything. Also, what happened to the one dude who, like, just kind of freaks out in there for a second and, like, wants to start yelling? And then he was like, I'm fine. Do you remember that?
Okay, I do remember that.
Yeah,
and
what
I
happened?
didn't know if that was what was happening and he was freaking out, or that they started to be moved upright. Because right after that, then all of, like, the stuff was happening. So I thought maybe he, like, fell or something. Because when I was watching it, I was like, what's he doing? And then he isn't doing anything. But I think it was possibly, like, that was just, like, the start of them being turned upright.
Yeah, okay.
And so he was just, like, the first one to
Yeah.
like, start going down.
I thought maybe it was, which would have been cooler, I feel like, panic attack. And so, like...
Wouldn't you have had the panic attack so much sooner?
I don't know, it can happen at any point. But, like, if being in there for that long, you're, like, right at the doorstep at that point, and then you just freak out for a second, and then you find your bearings, but yours makes a lot
I don't know if that would be a panic attack, but yeah, like just kind of, like, losing your fucking mind
Pretty much, yeah. Panic attack on steroids, I guess, yeah. Like, but what's, like, the thing where people just, like, they, like, freeze, basically, you know? Like, that type of where you just, like, start, like... Well, I guess he wasn't freezing anyways. I don't know.
You know, but, like, I get that,
nervousness.
Like, when you're, like, locked in, like, I guess it's with a bunch of people, so it's, like, the opposite, but, like, locked in solitary confinement.
Yeah.
You know, and then you, like, go insane and, like, start, like, screaming and, like, whatever. Yeah. Like, that type of vibe.
He had a psychotic break. That's what I was trying to think of. Maybe. I don't know. That fits the situation.
You know, that would also work.
Psychotic break.
That makes sense.
I might need that charger real soon, by the way, Mara.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here at a whopping 7%. So, basically they get in, and it is such a cool scene of Matt. They hop out, and, like, you can feel the adrenaline. I mean, they're stealthy at first, and then they go to the gate, and it's... I mean, I haven't read the story, so this was just so cool. Like, this is, to me, an all-time concept right here that I've never seen before in a war movie, where you have from the... Or maybe it's not in... I assume it's in the Odyssey. You have people from the inside opening the gate up like that after... Actually, maybe I have seen that. And like, waiting to get everybody else... But you haven't seen the army on the outside until they open the gates, too. It's just, like... so perfect, man, in the way that all plays that out, and I explained it very, very poorly. But, it's just, yeah, they spend a long time trying to open the gate from the inside and losing a lot of people before the whole army comes in. Agamemnon decides to just look so badass. I mean, like, he's got the coolest armor ever, dude. Just walking through the middle of those guys. I mean... It was just beautiful, and that's what I'm talking with the firelight too. That this like really, really warm lighting that they always have. So, it was so striking in that scene.
Yeah,
man.
Absolutely.
And as we're hearing the story, it's Matt Damon telling it too. Back with what's her name?
Calypso.
Yeah, back with Calypso.
Is it Calypso?
Yeah, I think Calypso's right.
Calypses?
I don't know, dude. I'm trying my best over here, okay?
No, you're doing such a
great
job.
It is Calypso. You're right. But also, we forgot to mention, this whole time, partly because of this little pin that Penelope gave to him, Odysseus is having visions of Athena. Athena played by Zendaya, who, I mean, Nolan just saw Dune and, like, loved it. Like, have you seen Dune?
Yeah.
You know specifically in the first one with the little flash of what's her name? Nani? Not Nani, Jesus Christ. Oh my gosh. I don't know, it's just flashes to Arrakis and her blue eyes and everything. It's just like that ethereal, like, look that she has with, like, they go, like, the soft focus on her. And it's the same thing in this movie. Like, she's just, like, this godlike figure that pops up in, like, visions, basically, for a second.
Zendaya's the
gives
perfect casting.
She really is.
Perfect, for sure.
She really is. And she's a good actress, too. If you didn't already know.
You know, which doesn't add to the perfect casting, of course.
But basically, after that, we're gonna head to Cersei. Are we alright with that? Or should we check in on Ithaca real fast? Let's check in on Telemachus, because remember, he was going to visit Menelaus.
Yeah.
And so he goes over there. John Bernthal is just like so buddy-buddy with him automatically. They meet Helena, whose face is all messed up. The most beautiful woman ever. Her face is messed up. That's Lupita Nyong'o. And basically, Menelaus just starts telling stories about... Menelaus, actually, I'm sorry, he was the one who told the Trojan horse story.
Yeah.
I forgot.
He did.
It would have been a better segue to go there first.
But, that's okay.
Yeah, and you also... It's like, Menelaus becomes this father figure to Telemachus that he's never really had. They have these great conversations, they go hunting together and all this stuff, and it's just like... I kept thinking Menelaus was going to, do something bad, and he just, never did. He was just, helping him out, telling him stories, he apologized when Telemachus was leaving, about, oh, you didn't, sorry I didn't help you, and Telemachus was like, no, you did.
Yeah.
It was just, I don't know, everything went so well for him over there. It was only on the way back that it really went crazy,
Right.
So, let's try to think. Yeah. Let's go to Circe now. Next island with it's called the Odyssey for a reason. We're in the middle of the ocean for a lot of this, but we're on to the next island, and basically. Oh wait, before we go to this island, no. Sorry. I apologize. On this island. There's the mutiny happens, essentially. Finally, although really Odysseus hasn't been in control this whole time, they finally are like, yo, you stay behind, you're bad luck.
They're like, we all decided.
Yeah. And so then they go up to Circe's house, and it's this old woman, not actually, middle-aged woman.
Yeah, what?
I don't know, I just, it seemed like it was going to be an old witch walking out of there.
A woman in, her 40s, probably.
Yeah. She sits, is very hospitable, sits all these guys down for a meal, and then these guys start eating. And, this is if you've ever seen Pinocchio, this is the donkey transformation scene on steroids, man. Because they start eating, and they're already, eating crazy, because they're just, so hungry. But then they keep going, and then Circe starts talking all weird about, just very, egging them on and everything. And then she starts kind of, pressing on Hamish Patel's face. I don't know his character's name, I apologize. And, it's just, they all start transforming into pigs, essentially. It's so terrifying. I have, however they did this was so good. The amount of shots that they were combining to be able to do this in prosthetics and everything. It was really cool how the transformation actually happened itself.
It was literally looking like she was, pulling, out their faces.
Yeah.
And then, forming them, sculpting them into pigs.
She was, sticking her hand down their throats.
Yeah, it was so creepy, but, so cool how they
really,
did that.
It really was. I think there was missed opportunity. With, not that we really need to unpack that, the soldiers have been through a lot, so they probably, aren't going to be that freaked out, but, the most powerful, if you really want to call it that, terrifying moment in Pinocchio is when the kid turning into the donkey is going, Mama, and it turns into the,
Wait, that actually makes me want to, cry.
Dude, I know, I'm sorry to even bring it up. I'm sorry to everybody else. But that is what was missing in that scene for me.
Oh, God.
Because
I'm so glad it wasn't there.
Well, they were doing
You're right.
They were doing it with the food, because, that was what was, really scary, the way and, the realization on their faces and stuff. It looked like they weren't, it wasn't even them controlling it.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're glad they didn't do that.
Yeah, just because that would have been so much more traumatizing.
I kept expecting worse for, this felt like it could have been PG-13.
What?
Slight adjustments to some blood. I mean, the dialogue's already fine. There's not any, nudity.
You think that whole scene that we were just talking about could be PG-13?
Yeah, well, that would be the hardest one. Bro, they did it. What's Pinocchio rated? G?
Yeah, and that is a crime, actually.
Yeah, that is a crime.
It's a crime.
That is a crime. Can I have your thing, by chance? Thank you. Okay, so basically, Odysseus shoots an animal he's hunting this whole time, and then this animal turns back into a human, and he realizes, oh boy, all my boys are in trouble. Before this, actually, do you remember when Cersei said, go ahead and set down all your armor outside?
Yes.
Okay. How are we going to forgive this?
No, that's so valid, because she's like, okay, you guys can come in, you can dine with me. This is before she turns them into pigs and all of that. But your weapons and your armor need to go outside. Which, like, reasonable request, right?
Yeah.
But outside, there is just, like, a bunch of, like, armor and shit that's, like, in the ground, as in it's been there for, like, a while, and, like, weather has, like, toured, like, over it, and now it's, like, a part of the land, basically, and it's like, hey, so maybe she's done this before. Like, maybe you shouldn't be leaving this shit out here because of all of the armor that is out here that is not your guys's.
Dude.
And whose could it be?
Like, all my faith in Hamish Patel, I thought he was maybe a better leader than Odysseus, close, at least he has the men. All my faith in him was lost right there, dude. I mean, homie, what? That is, like, that must happen in the book, right? If they added that, then I'm angry, because that's, like, that, like, pissed me off for a second there. Because it's just, like, you walk into a dinner party and they ask you to put your coat on the hanger and you see a bunch of coats with cobwebs and things that have been there forever, some blood on a coat maybe. You don't just put your coat up on the hanger and go sit down. You leave, man.
Yeah.
But anyways, Odysseus comes up, gets way too close to eating the food, which I guess it was just because he hadn't eaten in so long, it was still a temptation, but he knew that, like, he knew what she did from the moment he saw the pigs, pretty much. He connected the dots.
Yeah, but he didn't necessarily know it was through, like, he didn't know how she was doing it.
Yeah, and then it's Odysseus again, his relationship with the gods, and the way that he just, like, they talk to him as closer to an equal, man. Like, he talks down Cersei and gets her to turn all of his pigs back into men. What an odd sentence.
Yeah.
And, and it's this really cool, as she's doing it, she's saying, go back into your disguise. Is that it?
Yes.
Disguise? Was that it?
Yeah.
Go back into your disguise. Go back into your disguise.
Which was just, like, sick, because her whole thing, like, around it, being, like, these guys are pigs. Like, I'm just turning them into their true form. Like, this is what they are.
Exactly.
Which is like, you know what? Work.
For people like that, and she brought up the pillaging, the raping, everything that they've done, man. They're
right, like, when you think about when, like,
tapping into the primal
soldiers
instincts.
go up to a woman's house who lives alone, like, typically, awful, terrible things are going to happen. So it's
100%.
Like, okay, I also was having those thoughts when they were walking up to, like, the house, you know what I mean?
Yeah, luckily they didn't go into that too much, because, that
she was on top of it, you know?
She was.
She's got things handled.
But yeah, they get out of there, and for the first, they don't get chased out, but it is the only time that the wind has, or no, that's a different time, sorry. I'm getting confused, but the next island is throwing me off.
Yeah.
But it's also there that he's told by Cersei that his men are going to die. And Odysseus is going to be the only one that survives, and his men are going to die because they kill Raz, the sun god's, was it the sun god?
Yeah.
His flock on his island of sheep, or of cattle, I think it was. Yeah. And so now they basically have to avoid that. But first, is this first? Well, yeah, of course. First they have to get past a whirlpool.
Oh, yeah.
Big old whirlpool. But can we go check back in on Ithaca or anywhere?
Oh my gosh, I have no idea how you're just doing it off the cuff now. You're not even looking down at the phone.
I mean, the notes are honestly throwing me more because they're also not in order. Like, they're so out of order. I am trying my best here.
I promise, we're hitting all of the points, even if it's not in the correct order.
But back at Ithaca, Robert Pattinson's character, whose name I don't think we figured out. It doesn't get mentioned very much. He's pretty much the main suitor. He's hitting on Anne Hathaway all the time. Antinous. He's hitting on Anne Hathaway all the time, and he finds out from Mia Goth, who's a nice little role in this, the assistant, the queen.
I just love Mia Goth. She wasn't there that much, but every time I saw her, I was like,
dude, I know.
Hey, girl.
We're supposed to hate her, and then at the end, she gets like screwed over, and I was like, no, Mia Goth.
A little valid.
Not, but yeah, because Mia Goth, she went and tells, I forgot completely, Robert Pattinson,
and.
She tells him that Telemachus is out looking for Menelaus. So this is Antinous. This is his time to take out Telemachus. Yeah. So he's going to make that plan. Now, Odysseus still has another place to go first because he also got some advice from Circe, which is go west, was it? Or no, go somewhere because he's got to go to Hades Town.
Way down in Hades Town. Way down under. Yeah.
Thank you. I forgot how it goes.
Yeah. Even though we saw it not that long ago.
But he's got to go to hell. Which is like basically he goes out to like these like flat like this like black just rocks everywhere, and then they have this little pool of blood. And then all these dead soldiers start coming out, and it's an awesome scene, honestly. Like, it's basically, Odysseus is, like, kind of chill about all this. I guess with all he's seen at this point, it's just, like, and his soldiers are just like, yeah, this is just the next island. But it's all these dead people, and they're all talking about, basically, like, vengeance and, you know, the things that were taken from that. And it's like, what is the reason that they give again that they're coming back?
It's the... I'm forgetting the... Like, I don't know. I can't... But you were on the right track with what the words you were saying. Mm-hmm.
It's basically all of these dead people, if they died at the hands of somebody else, have this connection to the people alive still. Yeah. And they're like, it's I don't know. I don't know enough about the lore to actually pull it off, but Sinon, right, is his name, is Elliot Page's character's name. And he comes back and has just this awesome speech about, basically his death not meaning anything. Yeah. And like Odysseus being the one to put meaning on it, and they all give Odysseus, and Agamemnon comes back too and talks about what happened to him. He died when he came back home. He was betrayed. And it's just like he gets given a path, as he always does from all these gods, Yeah. And this time it's to go west and essentially go into exile and to bring honor to the dead soldiers, essentially. Yeah. I don't know enough about this.
Yeah, no, you did a good job explaining it though.
But it is a
lot of lore that we just are not in.
Exactly. It's a incredibly powerful scene. Yeah. I mean, incredibly powerful, and it gives us the direction of what we need. Absolutely. Of where we're gonna go.
And that just goes into, like, with Elliot Page's character and so many other of these characters that have sort of these small parts, but then just have, like, these, like, huge lines or these, like, just, like, banger monologues that it's like, holy shit.
Dude, it's so true. And no one's so good at that. Yeah. He did that in Oppenheimer, especially. This is just another example of that. We didn't talk about the whirlpool, technically, right? We just kind of mentioned it. Oh, yeah. Whatever, they get past the whirlpool. But they also have to get past the sirens. Sirens. Yeah. Which I've heard about, actually. But they sing this song that you feel the need to go to. But they had just this awesome monologue that Matt Damon gives, because Odysseus essentially gets tied to a post as they're going past all the sirens, and while all of his other men don't hear it or try not to, they have wax in their ears. He listens, and he just describes like this longing feeling for specifically like things that you can't have, and the thing that he can't have, or the thing that you can't have the most, is the thing that you've already experienced and you've lost. I'm butchering the line.
Yeah.
But it was like so... I just have never thought about sirens in this way, like, to create, because all of a sudden these things, so many memories from your own life can come back with a line like that, dude. And it's just, that feeling.
Absolutely.
You can put yourself there immediately.
And just to go a little bit more into before that, in that whole scene with the sirens, is our perspective when we're watching that is from the... What's the one soldier guy's name?
Himesh Patel.
Yes, from his character's perspective. So it's like, as he's putting the wax over his ears, it's like all of a sudden, our hearing is like blocked on one side, and then it's blocked on the other side, and then we can kind of see, like, the soldier who takes it out, and, like, ends up jumping in the water, and, like, going crazy, and, like, all that. But that's all happening in, like, muffled sound that we're hearing from his perspective, and then we don't hear... like, actual sound until he takes it out. And I just, like, I love when they do shit like that. Like, I love when you get, like, the audio aspect of being in someone's, like, shoes, like, in 100%. The movie. I think it's so sick.
I always think about Baby Driver anytime something like this, you know?
Yes, for sure.
Because all the time they're just blending together, because it's called diegetic sound in Baby Driver, when they have music that's, like, you're hearing, but is actually in the movie.
Yeah.
And it's that type of thing, though it's, like, done... It's done it in a different way here.
Yeah, but I think it's so cool, and it was so awesome to watch, especially in a theater that size, you know, with, like, all those people. Like, it was
100%.
It felt cool for sure.
So basically, unless I'm missing anything, I think we can go to the Sun God's Island.
Yeah.
So we got to get to the next spot, right? Odysseus knows we're not supposed to go there already. But Himesh Patel says we have to because we're going to starve. And we go to the Sun God's Island, but we're still going to listen to the gods, listen to Odysseus. We're not going to eat his flock.
Right, they're just going to go in to repair their ship, and then they'll head out when the wind changes.
Yes. But of course, when they get there, the wind doesn't change.
Yes.
For a long time, starvation starts ringing out. It's even that long that they cannot leave until eventually Odysseus comes across them making calf. Making cow.
Just said eating.
Yeah, eating cow. And of course, it's right then that the wind changes and they're able to get out. But that is the moment that, what's the line? They are now, they're at the expense, I don't think that's what it was, but of Poseidon's sea and Zeus's skies.
Yeah.
And you can imagine what happens then. We've seen a lot of water battling, taking on, thus far, but man, nothing like this. It comes crashing down, everybody gets screwed over.
And I want to talk about this scene a little bit, because at first, when it was starting, I really liked watching it, right? Like, there's a lot of flashing lights going on of the lightning, and, like, all of, just, like, you could see the water, like, it's a lot of shots just, like, going really quickly, and it looked like you felt, like, overwhelmed by, like, what was happening, but, like, in a way that you felt like you were, like, there, and it's, like, it's messy, and there's so much, like, going on type thing. But then it got to a point for me, and I understand Zeus lightning, but it got to the point where there was so much flashing, and it was so bright, and so different from the dark screen that we have been watching for so long, that I literally could not see. That the bright light was literally sending my eyes into, like, all black every time. Like, I could not see what was happening until, like, he got back on... Sorry, not to spoil anything, but, like, until the end of the scene, I couldn't see shit, and it pissed me off, because I really liked how the scene looked and what was going on.
Wow.
But now it's like, I can't even see what's going on a little bit. I don't know what's happening. I don't know who's like, and I get that, like, and I get the point of that being, like, it's just, like, it was a fucking mess, and everyone's going, and no one knows what's going on, like, he lost his crew, like,
Right.
all of that stuff, but it gets to a point where, like, it physically hurts my eyes to look at the screen, where I'm like, hey, let's cut that shit out, please. Like, there needs to be a change so I could actually, like, not have to physically, like, close my eyes when I'm watching it, because my vision is, like, literally, like, spotting out. And then it went to the next scene, and my vision was literally, like, so fucking spotty.
Jeez.
But, again...
That might be something you should get checked out. I don't know if your vision's fucked up today, but with the flashing, I totally feel what you were talking about with being unable, because it ramps up, it starts, I don't know... It definitely gets more frequent, right? Was it just the fact that it was happening enough, and it was just, I got, like, my eyes started getting overwhelmed by it? Because it took up everything, and I completely lost the frame. It was just, like...
That's the thing, it got to the point where if that was at the very end, where all of a sudden I'm completely losing the frame, like, that's fine, after it gets to the craziest, but it was just, like... In the middle of it, like, in that transition period between the two... It was the flashes were happening, and then it would be, like, 2-3 shots in between.
Yeah.
But those shots, my eyes would not be focusing until the next flash happened.
Jeez.
And it felt like I should have been seeing those frames. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't know, I gotta rewatch it. I know I need to rewatch it on, like, a little screen where I can turn the brightness down so I can actually see what was happening.
Yeah.
And see if I can, like... Like, if it was really pissing me off, or was really just, like, madness going on completely, and none of, like, the frames really matter in that scene, but it just, like, it pissed me off, because it's like, my eyes aren't adjusting to see what's going on, I have truly no idea what's going on, other than that Zeus is striking down.
Yeah, I definitely
like,
I don't think that's intended.
Right, I don't think so, because I got it, I understood what they were doing at the start, and it made sense for that to be at the end.
Yeah.
Right? Of, like, it's just, like, pure madness. But, like, for most of that scene being me not being able to watch it...
it's the wrath of Poseidon and Zeus, Mara.
But, like, I was only feeling Zeus.
You're lucky.
That's the thing.
You're lucky you weren't getting splashed at the same time, homie. Yeah, if you could really have it the Nolan way, you'd have a bucket of water being dumped on you.
And I wish I did.
Gee, I might have a good running for your least favorite scene then. Holy fuck.
But it's minor, but it's just something I have to go into because it pissed me off, because I'm like, what? I can't even watch what's going on right now, and this feels like a really epic action scene.
Yeah.
I also understand. I know it's Zeus, and there needs to be the flashing lightning. I do understand that.
Yeah. I was interested how they were doing those flashes, too, whether they're in post or in the moment.
Yeah.
It seemed like they're in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
But I couldn't really see anything.
I couldn't tell. I had no idea.
But basically from there, Odysseus is stranded, and we finally catch up to our story. We are on the island now with Calypso, and we basically learn that Calypso has been holding Odysseus hostage, kind of. Now, was she holding him hostage, or was she helping him? Because especially when he leaves the island where his head needs to be, you know? It was almost like, because she's giving him this flower that pretty much blocks out his memory, and she's slowly letting his memory come back. But when he starts getting too excited about his memories, she doesn't let him go into it anymore, you know? And it's almost, to me, like she wants him to get some space from his memories, to like, so that when he does leave the island, he can fully give himself up to the gods. So
Sorry.
I was gonna, no, I'll ask you.
No, I feel like that's completely what she was doing at first. But then there was, like, an enjoyment of, like...
Because she fell in love.
Yeah. So then there was that aspect of it, and
you were
then
happy,
she was just, like, purposefully making him not remember so she would stay with him, even if it was, well, my intentions were to do this always. Like, so I feel like that's, like, you're right, but there's that other side of it.
Yeah, I think maybe it's just Charlize Theron. feel like she had good intentions.
I know, it's like, well,
it's everything.
Damn, she's gonna trap me on an island?
Yeah.
Fuck.
It got Odysseus where he needed to be. Everything that happens to him, always exactly the state that he needs to be in. You know, it's like so obvious that the gods are just in here pulling the strings,
right.
You know? It's and also they do these little things with the connection with Odysseus and his son to Zeus, you know, where specifically at the very beginning, they only do it like once more, but Tom Holland says something about Zeus and the thunder goes.
Oh.
And a second later, John Leguizamo's like, that was just lucky. You know, and it's like...
I didn't notice that.
So
I didn't remember it, probably.
There's a deeper connection there that they have that I'm very, very interested in. That is not... I think I'm supposed to probably know more about.
Yeah, well, like, there's something that goes into it, like, when he's talking to... What's that lady's name that turns everyone into the animals?
Circe.
Yeah, when he's talking to Circe, like, about... like, being connected with the gods or something, and him saying, like, I'm not on that, like, level, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
I don't remember what it wasn't, I'm not on that level.
Yeah. Well, I mean, dude, there were a lot of lines like that, though. Like, a lot of... for me, they all fit because it was just, like, not... I think because it was all just regular, like, American accents, probably. Like, nothing ever felt out of place. None of the bullshit, like, let's get 'em type of lines, you know?
Right, yeah.
Because they were, like, there's a lot that kind of wasn't crazy well written.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair.
But, where are we? Sorry.
So we, back to, like, current time. On the island.
Back to current time. So yeah, after this whole conversation,
Odysseus
gives himself up to the gods, basically. He stops trying to control the situations in front of him. He stops, he knows that he wants to go home. He knows the gods know that he wants to go home. And so he just makes his raft and he just lays. And it's this awesome, the score is swelling and his whole raft breaks down. It like water's going over his face and stuff. And then he's just in the water himself for a while.
Yeah.
It's so beautiful. And then he wakes up. Yeah. And the first person he talks to is Athena, of course. And she tells him, he asks where he is, she tells him, wouldn't you recognize your own home? And there he is, back in Ithaca.
Yeah. Back.
I am on a personal journey of trying to find that ability that Odysseus found to let go of trying to control the steps to get somewhere, you know? And I just, this very much spoke to me, this whole scene. There's a lot in this, that just, I don't know, it's stuff that Nolan's always kind of hitting on in his movies. There's another thing, there's a line about, I don't know, I just feel. That's almost every Nolan movie has that line. I think Robert Pattinson says it in Tenet, where it's, basically when, whatever the main character doesn't actually have a name, but I forget what they give his name is, oh shoot. I just lost. It's feel. It doesn't really matter. It's something about he's trying to figure out how does figure out how the time works, and Robert Pattinson's just don't think, just feel it, which you really need to do in that movie. But he's always hitting on these types of things, and in the Odyssey, it's present.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Man. So let's go now that he's in Ithaca, right? Odysseus goes ahead and finds out that Telemachus is off doing his thing. So Odysseus has to go find Telemachus. Fuck, man. And this is really easy. We don't actually see his journey because we see Telemachus just pull up at Athena's temple. And Odysseus is just there as a beggar. And it's kind of, for a while, because of Agamemnon's advice, Odysseus does not tell anybody that he is the king. This is very important, that he's not going to tell anybody that he's Odysseus, that he's back.
Yeah.
And Tom Holland isn't figuring it out for a while. Even when Odysseus saves Tom Holland from his attackers from Robert Pattinson. This is great.
Yeah.
I'm just bouncing from all the actors.
Yeah, he's able to pull a very I fought with your father type.
And he never lies either. He never quite lies about it. He's always just saying, I knew Odysseus. He's very close. Like, all this stuff. Yeah. Like, he just always, the dialogue's written really, really well. But then they go back to Ithaca together, and kind of hatch their plan about what they're going to do. There's another thing with the gods, that line, when they're walking up the hill, where Tom Holland says, something about your eyes look like Athena's or something, or I see Athena in your eyes. And Odysseus is like, don't try to see gods in men, you'll be disappointed. It's just like, it's so great how Odysseus just doesn't care. It's like, even if there is something there, he just does not care. Oh, I forgot to mention, when Telemachus gets home the first time, he goes and talks to Penelope, and they have an amazing conversation where Anne Hathaway basically just goes off and saying, you know, so like, because this whole movie's about, like, we need to find somebody to sit on the throne. And
and she's like, bitch, I've been on the throne.
I've been sitting on the fucking... It was awesome. I mean, full passion.
Yeah.
She gave it her all.
And just, like, an amazing performance from her, like, as well. Yeah.
100%.
Incredible. And also, like, so valid. I'd be so fucking pissed off if, like, my fucking child, someone that I birthed, was like, oh, we need to get a kid. And I'm like,
right. Well,
who do you think runs this place?
Well, that's what's good. She passed the test. You know, this was a test from Telemachus and Odysseus to see if she could be trusted in this situation, essentially.
Yeah.
And she 100% was still right about, she knows exactly who she is and where she sits.
Yes.
And so, from there, basically, Odysseus just kind of hangs around as a beggar and wreaks havoc for a while, which is just kind of funny. He's just pissing off Robert Pattinson and everything.
Yeah.
And he has a really cool conversation, and almost like a confession type of setup with Anne Hathaway, because the screen is kind of in front of her. But they just... It's just, like, so interesting how they can have this conversation where they feel, like, so similar and cannot know it's each other. Mm-hmm. You know? It almost feels like, to an extent, Penelope knows.
Yeah.
Right? Especially with the next move that she makes.
Well, by the end, I think
she was thinking it and was scared even, but then she tested.
Yeah.
And the test that she sets up, we didn't even talk about, sadly, at the beginning.
You're so right.
Fuck. So at the beginning of this movie, there is a great scene, this thing about Odysseus being the only one who can string his bow. And this whole thing that he used to do, he would string his bow and shoot his arrow through a bunch of axes that were set up. And his son couldn't do it. And so this was the test that she set up, is if anybody can... So who wants to be the next Odysseus? Can you string his bow, essentially? Yeah. And it's cool because nobody can do it. And there's this whole dialogue exchange with Robert Pattinson about the point that she's proving. Nobody can replace Odysseus, but we get it. And he's more aware about what she's doing than anybody, which is cool. From the beginning, he doesn't want to try it. And it's kind of like, in that moment, I kind of realized he's kind of smart. I didn't really, I kind of thought he was just an idiot the whole time.
Oh, no, for sure.
He actually knew what was going. And I really, if he was in the know a little, about the Odysseus stuff, man, I would have liked to see how everything played out.
Well, think about, his conversation with Penelope, and, how he was able to, very much, get in her head.
True, and he knew that, he had Mia Goth he had on his payroll, essentially.
Yep.
He was...
Yeah, he was able to slide from talking to Anne Hathaway to Mia Goth in 2 seconds time.
He'd be good. He's good in court, probably.
Yeah.
You would think. And so I'm glad he wasn't the king, but... Oh, sorry, we're not there. So, all of a sudden, though, the beggar, of course, stands up. He wants to try. Everybody's laughing at him until, after Penelope walks away for a second, he strings the bow, fires the arrow, and reveals that he is Odysseus. But to prep for all this, they took all the weapons out of the room and locked all the doors. So, so basically, Odysseus just starts firing arrows, and it is like, it's just awesome.
Yeah, no, Penelope just, like, locks herself in her space, and just, like, he just goes crazy.
Lets it go down, and he just is, like, taking on everybody at once. I mean, flawlessly. Telemachus is fighting his own fight with this other dude, got out, and is trying to get weapons in, and he actually succeeds at that, and the weapons are being dropped in from the roof, and it's just an epic fight. I mean, Odysseus is doing inhuman shit.
Yeah.
He's taking blows, getting stabbed, doesn't matter.
And I thought this was an epic fight as well, but it was another moment where I wish it was just slowed down the tiniest bit, because when it was moving so fast, I don't even know who I'm watching on the fucking... And look, I realize, when I was thinking about this, and now that I'm talking about it, it also may have to do with the huge fucking screen I was watching it on.
Oh, yeah.
But it was so hard for me to tell what was happening, who was winning, who was coming out on top, like...
Really? With only one guy?
No, with crossing between, like, the 3 fights that were all simultaneously happening. The only thing that I could, like, focus on and slow down is when it, like, cut to Robert Pattinson being like, grab that thing.
Yeah.
And then it just, like, went back to between the 2 fights between,
Yeah.
Whatever their fucking names
Telemachus and Odysseus.
Yeah, between those 2 separate ones.
Yeah.
And the
Telemachus, I think.
Whatever, the Tom Holland fight.
Yeah.
You could pretty much tell, because he was in, like, this, like, blue color, and it, like, stood out, and I could kind of, like, tell what was happening and who was on top. But with, I almost called him Orpheus, Odysseus, like, I just couldn't tell what was happening or who was winning at all, because it was cutting so fast in between them that I would just, like...
Dang.
I did not know. It was literally, I kept thinking, every time I would see Robert Pattinson, it was like, okay, a second to breathe, and now I have to, like, focus in and look, like, exactly where I'm supposed to, so I don't miss what's going on. Like, I truly had no idea who was coming out on top in that fight whatsoever.
Yeah, I did not have that issue at all.
Really?
No. I think I was just too in the moment to even think about the frequency of the cuts.
I wasn't thinking about the I couldn't pay attention to what was happening on screen.
I never lost who I was looking at, because it got split up really, really fast. We had the one guy in the room who gets out of the room, like, immediately. So, like, maybe during that first part I was a little confused. Actually, yeah, I totally was. Okay, maybe, is that the part you're referring to when they're all in the room, actually? Okay, because, and I'm wondering...
Because then when it cuts to the fight with just him, like, you can tell, because it's the blue, and it's cutting...
Once they
like,
split,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, once they split, I definitely didn't have a problem, but I think,
It's when it's all together, and then specifically... Odysseus in the fight, even when it was split up, I was losing it a little bit. Yeah. And that just has to
I don't think I had a problem there.
And it's purely, I know what the problem is. It's because it's like, it was hard. I don't know what the technical, it was just like there wasn't a real, like, focal point in the Odysseus fight scenes because he was dressed as a beggar versus, whatever the fuck his name is. Telemachus, who was, like, wearing this blue, and it was very obvious, like, who was, like, you know what I mean? Like, just his colors blended in with all of the other fighters as well as the background.
Yeah, Tom Holland's definitely stood out more.
Which, like, I understand because he was dressed up, like, as a beggar, but when it started so fast, like, I'm already not knowing what's going on, and then it split up, and I'm like, okay, I need to, I don't know what's happening, and it's hard for me to figure out what's happening now when I'm already so lost at the beat. Like, you know what I mean?
I don't...
Like, it was just... it was hard to figure out...
I don't think I had the same experience as you, but I think I know what you mean.
But, like, it was very hard to figure out what was... Like, who was coming out on top when all of, like, the craziness was happening in the start. Because, right, it's like, at first, like... He's taking them all down with arrows. I know he's the only one that has wet. Like, I see what's going on here. But it was just, like, so much madness. And then they were, like, all on top of him at one point.
Yeah.
And that really fucking threw me off. And then I'm like, okay, really, like, who's winning now? Like, you know what I mean? And then I felt like I could kind of, like, be cut up. But then when it cut into, like, the 2 different ones, I just had a problem like following like either of them and like really seeing what was
Dang,
happening.
so even when it was two different ones.
But I'm just, it wasn't, like, it wouldn't have been like that if I wasn't already confused. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I couldn't have gotten on board with it being that fast-paced, but I was already, like...
Yeah.
It's just, like, hard. It was hard, specifically in those scenes, to just find Odysseus on screen.
Yeah. See, that I did zero problems with. Specifically Odysseus, because there's just one guy. You had a central point to every single... They were all... going at the exact same point every single shot, you know.
But that's the thing.
Like,
I mean, it wasn't
especially you're
just
talking
him.
about when he was on the ground, like that was.
I wasn't confused at that point. I wasn't confused at where Odysseus was. I was aware he was on the ground.
But then like getting back up through that, I did lose him a little bit. But then I'm like right back on him when he's up with the axe, you know. Like remember he pulls the axe out from the thing when he gets up.
Okay, that's something I realized. I don't know if it was just like I blinked at a moment. For a moment, I did not realize he was the one with the axe.
Ah. Yeah, I don't...
So it was just like, I was losing...
I don't know.
I was losing a lot of what was going on, like, on the screen.
I think your point has been made. I don't think I had the experience, but I do think I could see how it happened. Like, no doubt. Okay. So, I apologize. On behalf of Christopher Nolan. Or, no. Sally something. It's the editor. That's who you gotta go at here, dude. The editor and the, whoever was operating the flash on the, off-screen on the boat scene. But, yeah. Are good to move forward?
Sure.
Okay. Basically, after that chaos, we slow down frequency of cuts a bit, and we get to have Robert Pattinson get slaughtered, knife going through the chest, or sword going through the chest. Odysseus finally gets him, and like you were saying, the whole time he was just not doing anything, hiding behind a pole. Grab that! I mean, it was horrible. He dies, and then it seems like Odysseus is gonna die because Odysseus goes over to Anne Hathaway. He goes over to Penelope and like lays down and like fully baits her. Like he baits the fuck out of her. I mean, he's laying there and he's pretty much just talking about like, I don't remember what the dialogue is exactly, but it causes Penelope to go, no, you can't die, no. And then she still like lets her like cry for a second, like look back into his eyes, and then finally reveal that he's not dying. They're going west. Because they talked about it earlier in the movie, going into the sunset, and so apparently his exile can be with people. And Penelope is the person that he's taking. And from there, we see Telemachus is going to be king. Mm-hmm. Which I guess his journey to Menelaus and back, or maybe the fight with homie upstairs is what allowed Penelope to come around on him being king.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like the whole time, like, the reason he couldn't be, it was, like, he needed to figure out what happened with his father and kind of get the closure.
That wasn't her reason, though.
Well, but he...
Right?
They all had, like, the belief that he was alive still. That he was coming back.
Right, but remember the whole conversation they had when she was literally like, you think you can be king? You can't, you're just a boy. Like, if that whole thing.
Right.
That's what I'm referring to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think, like, doing a full, like, battle and shit, and...
Is that it? Yeah.
I think that probably
it was just never,
qualifies.
we never had, like, yeah, I guess that was it. She, like, proved, but I was never clear to me that, like, that was what he needed to do, because she didn't want him to leave to do that. She was very upset when he did. So maybe it was all the stuff that then happened when Odysseus showed up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fighting in the room for a while. Alright. I guess that's enough. I don't know. We don't know how much time passed anyways between. And then, I mean, pretty much, am I missing anything?
No, I don't think so.
they head on to the West, man. The very last line of this says, a victim of PTSD unable to reintegrate into civilian life. I didn't see that much. He looked fine to me. But then they all lived happily ever after.
Yep.
The end.
Yeah. The end. Alright, do you want to move into favorite scene and least favorite scene?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm unless there's anything else you want to talk about with story real fast. We definitely spent good time on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty, like, the ending didn't hit as hard as a Nolan ending normally hits for me. Just because there wasn't, like... Actually, I think it was just because the bait and switch with Odysseus. Because it was satisfying. It was a setup and payoff to going out into the West, you know, with his wife. But I think it was Odysseus almost, like, fake dying, essentially.
Yeah.
And then coming back, that was just like, oh, okay. It's full-blown happy ending now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I don't have anything else unless you do.
Cool,
We can
yeah.
move into the categories?
Yeah, let's move into favorite scene and least favorite scene.
Okay, great. Do you want to start with least favorite?
Yeah. Me first?
Sure.
My least favorite scene is gonna be definitely not the whole, I mean, it was really just a shot, but because of this shot, the scene with Cersei when they all see the armor and then still go eat her meal.
Yeah.
I'm just like, we talked about it. I mean, it's just so stupid. Like,
Right.
I don't understand how you do that, especially when you've been building up this whole movie to make me think maybe you can't actually lead the men. You make a move like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's mine.
Yeah, and I talked about it again, but just this scene on the ending scene with the boat with all the crew dying, just few too many flashes for my liking.
Do you think you're like, what's it called? You have epilepsy?
I didn't get like a seizure, so no.
Because that's definitely a movie that needs an epilepsy warning, right? With that'd be seizure inducing, I assume.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure like most like sea movies like that,
Really, yeah,
like have that vibe.
Yes.
So people with epilepsy probably
It's just not
stay
made
away.
very clear. Maybe we missed a big sign on the front. Nobody with epilepsy.
But yeah, just too many flashes for me.
Yep. Best scene. Sorry, I don't know why I'm the one moving it.
Yes, favorite scene.
Favorite scene.
Go ahead.
Oh boy. There's a lot of really good scenes in this movie, man. I'm gonna go an honorable mention for...
Save the honorable mentions for after we both do them.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Smart.
Sorry.
Okay, I'm gonna go with the scene... I'm gonna go with the Penelope scene talking to Telemachus.
Fuck, really?
That's my favorite.
No, that was gonna be mine.
Seriously?
That's crazy.
That's so
I did
crazy.
not think you were gonna pick that one. Yeah, no, I'm sorry.
That
Go
was
ahead.
mine, because
Go
it
ahead.
was just like her whole character had just been like not enough for me. Not even, it was just like sad to see her like
Yeah.
that, and it was just, oh, and then Odysseus is gonna come back. But then that moment of just strength was just so fucking poignant, man.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I didn't think I would have to think of another one. I'm gonna go
Sorry.
with. No, that's okay. That's good. I'm glad. I'm glad we're aligning with our favorite scenes. I'm gonna go with like all of the just like sort of that whole, not the whole, more of like the setup and the sort of beginning of the whole Cyclops scene.
Yeah.
Just because like that was like so epic and like dark and scary, and it's like I don't know if like the ending and how they got out of that was necessarily like my favorite scene, but like that whole just them getting trapped in the cave and the start of it and sort of the start of them just kind of figuring out what's going on was just like all just like so sick and so just like sick in a disgusting way and also in like a cool way.
Total agreement, man.
Yeah.
That's a good one. And my honorable mention for the sign-on scene, I think, or just that whole thing I love in Hades.
Yes.
I just thought that was so cool. And the sirens.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
But there are just so many scenes in this movie, man, that I've just really fucking liked. Like, we didn't even talk about the whole sacking of Troy, you know?
Yeah.
And that was while Matt Damon was narrating.
Right.
That was a cool moment. I don't know. Because, like, just the action scenes were so fucking awesome in this movie. Oh, my lord.
Yeah, they were. Absolutely. All right, we'll start with least favorite character.
Least favorite character. Okay. I'm going to go with... Oh, man.
Oh, it's so difficult.
I'm going to go... I don't know his name. John Leguizamo's character. Partly because I don't know his name.
Of course.
Seriously, I steal yours? Oh, my God. Well, it was just, like... It just felt like he was going to have something more to him.
Totally.
And especially, I really thought he was going to figure out Odysseus. Because it was like, oh, the blind guy whose senses are going to be way better than everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
And his old friend is coming back. I thought he was going to figure it out. And he didn't until everybody else did.
Yeah.
You know? And it was just like, he was pretty much there to just kind of give good advice to Telemachus when he needed it. And then get bullied.
Right, no, he was set up as, like, almost like just, like, more of a mentor character than, like, the plot device that he kind of ended up being.
Exactly. And that, like, they didn't even really need him. The dog was awesome, too.
Yeah.
Like, honorable mention for the dog is best character. Because this dog, like we mentioned in the story, he's like a 20-year-old dog or whatever, he's just waiting. And when Odysseus does get home, he dies immediately. And it's just, oh, such a sad little moment. But, like, that's the level of emotion that, like, I don't know, I expected somewhere with John Leguizamo. The whole friendship, I don't know, people coming home, starting a new, I don't know. It's too bad.
Okay, fuck, let me think of mine.
Yeah, sorry.
I've done such a, like, better job, I feel like, in recent and not taking, like, 5 fucking minutes to think of my least favorite.
You have. I'll give you that.
But it's difficult, because it's like, there's so many characters right in this that it's just like very small parts, but they did their very small parts so well.
Yep.
And so there's nothing I can really say about that.
Exactly.
The only thing that my mind goes to is like the one sort of like main soldier guy, but he's also like the only like character that we got from the soldiers in any way, so I wouldn't want to put that on him like at all.
Yeah.
I could have said like any other one of the soldiers.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you could name them.
No, that's the important thing is you can't name them.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, this is bad, but there's just like, it's hard, I don't know how to pick a least favorite character when there's no, so I will go with ensemble soldiers. Because like we said,
I respect that option.
we only had one, which was literally just like our leader soldier who just spoke for the group,
just do
and they
a war
all
movie
had their...
style, you know, it's super one-dimensional. Just dudes who are like, just write their dialogue to be very different.
I could have mine specifically as the soldier that took the wax out of his ears and like jumped in the ocean for the sirens.
Yes, I like that one.
I'll do that one.
Though I kind of like that guy.
Yeah, he kind of has the most personality out of anyone.
I also know him from something. I don't know why. I've recognized him. Oh, man.
Okay, favorite character. This will be much easier. Well,
do you want to go first on this one?
You can,
Okay.
unless you...
I think that my favorite character in this movie, it's going to be Odysseus.
Yeah.
Like, there's just so much on... A lot of it was Matt Damon's performance, I think. So much riding on that. And also just, you know, this is the main character of the biggest story of all time.
Mm-hmm.
And he felt so human, so, like, touchable. Like, there was, like, not... and to also have him brush up so closely against the gods, man. I just, his decision making, his love for his family, I don't know. I really respected his morals. I don't know. Yeah, I loved it. I really loved it. Yeah.
I'm gonna say, and just because I'm gonna sort of, because I loved her as a character, and also I'm gonna use this as an opportunity to talk about something that I sort of forgot to talk about or just want to mention. I'm gonna say, Penelope is my favorite character. Yep. Like we said, that whole scene was just like so incredible and gave so much depth, and there were multiple of like those that it's just like these sort of like deep conversations that she had that were just like beautiful. But like along with that, which I feel like we really didn't talk about, like the movie did such a good job, if you are like us and living under a rock and have no idea about any of the story of the Odyssey, of just like revealing information in like such an interesting way. Like we almost didn't know who Penelope was. Like, is she actually like going with all these suitors like they're true. Saying? Like, yeah. Is that what she believes? Yeah. And then we get this scene with her and I keep wanting to say Orpheus. It's so fucked up. And Odysseus, where it's like, even in this conversation that they're having of like, you should marry when we're gone, we think she's going to say okay and agree to it. And it's like, the way they just like revealed information about her, as well as in all of those scenes, just like the depth that she had, even having the little screen time that she had, is just like, yeah, I loved her as a character.
I'm in total agreement with you on that one. Yeah. What like small screen time character did you like the best?
I mean, I feel like Athena, right, like, had, like, some of, like, the best, like, pop-up just to, like, have lines.
Good lines, for sure. I might have liked Cersei.
Yeah.
Like, just for how much stuff that she gave us.
Absolutely.
Going there for such a small amount of time, and, like, setting Odysseus off on his journey, the amount of character she, and like turning the whole thing with her sister, you know, like it's like you're saying, Nolan's so good at those small roles, man, and just making them so real.
Yeah, no, I'd agree with you on that would be, I kind of forgot, that would be my favorite as well, of the side, not a lot of screen time characters.
Beautiful.
The hell is that noise?
Racing.
Okay, now we are on to positive and negative qualities. So we will start with our negative quality, because then negative, then positive.
Negative quality. I have mine. Do you want to go first, though, because I've been taking yours?
No, go ahead.
I will go with the dialogue. I didn't mind it, like, really. But I do think that there were moments that pulled me out of the story and pulled me into like, oh, people might not like this, you know? Mm-hmm. And anytime that happens, there's something there that is not supposed to be, you know?
Yeah.
And Odysseus, I think, had the majority of them. But just a lot of very run-of-the-mill kind of, I don't know, I wish I had better examples of just flat dialogue that they had in this movie. But so much great dialogue too, so it's hard. You know?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's fine.
So true, so true. Negative quality. I will go with... It's hard because there's like specific little things that I didn't like from like the bigger qualities.
Yeah.
I could never say I don't like the lighting, because what they did with the lighting, that was so cool, except for that one specific scene. Yeah. What were you gonna say?
Well, yeah, I was gonna say just nitpick them, because that might be, it's hard, like finding what, because I realize I say dialogue, but that's really what I was, parts of the dialogue.
I'll just say, because it wasn't something that stood out to me, and I could look back on this and not agree with it or find information later, but just the costumes weren't something specifically that I was like, wow, these are incredible.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, in a typical piece like that, it's usually like, very over the top
Yeah.
and like more ethereal-ish vibes.
A whole bunch of Agamemnon moments of walking through the thing, because that was the one for me.
Yeah.
Right? That was just like, oh my god, look at this. That should have been every time you see the person.
Totally.
They were trying to have that moment with Anne Hathaway pulling out that blue dress with the red stripe at the end.
Yeah, which was gorgeous, but it was just like, it wasn't something that specifically like stuck out to me that like that was amazing costume. There's nothing wrong with them, but like
that makes sense.
That's what I'll go with.
It's a good one.
Okay. Positive quality.
Positive quality? I will take off the board the music.
Yep.
It was just unlike anything I'd ever heard before. There were so many sounds that I could not place. I don't know how to describe music very well, so I'm struggling. But it felt like I was always where I was supposed to be emotionally, and the reason I was there first was the music, you know, and that's probably always the way it is in movies, but this movie made me fucking realize that.
Yeah.
You know, like, this is gonna be one of those soundtracks that I listen to, and like, every time, I'm like getting scenes, flashes of scenes, because it was so different at points, and like, the music.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna go with, I don't know if this... we can do whatever the fuck we want. This is our podcast.
Truth.
But I'm just gonna go with and I don't know if this makes sense, but the wide shots in the movie, just cause, like, those were, like, the most breathtaking, and that goes along with the music, it like, there was this one shot with just, like, the boat, and it's the bluest water you've ever seen, the sky and all of this, and you can literally, like, feel the music, like, vibrating your chest. There were so many moments like that, and that, I think, is, like the best thing about the version, how we got to see it in the IMAX 70mm, like, that is just, like, that was what made it. I'm like, okay, I get why people pay so much fucking money, because it literally felt, like, breathtaking, like, some of these shots being so big and so, like, up, like, on my screen.
100%.
We're just, like, insane. I don't know, is that okay to say, just the wide shots?
Especially for this movie, dude, because there are, like, so many, because that would be considered, like, the establishing shots of the exteriors, right? Those would be considered wide shots, right?
Yeah.
So many of those that were just so gorgeous.
Yeah.
Man. I mean, so yeah, this movie specifically, I feel like that's a great one.
Yeah. I agree. That's why I said it. All right. Now, I think it is time for...
Gio's Hidden Gems, the most expensive movie factoids. My phone's at 5%, so we're going to move. I'm also going to plug it in, actually. I forgot. I never did that. So I should probably
I gave you that like an hour ago.
Yeah. Forgot about that thing. It's a little setup and payoff, Mara. We make them wait for it.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? The IMAX in cinematography is the first category here. So, this is the first feature film shot entirely on IMAX, which we just saw in its original format. First one brought to the mainstream was, do you know it, Mara? Christopher Nolan movie? The Dark Knight.
Oh.
And then it was a much larger sequence in The Dark Knight Rises. For this film, there are 2 million feet of film used. And like I was saying to you earlier, this is the highest possible quality image that the human eye can view, made in 1969. It's amazing. Hoyte van Hoytema said in an interview that although the cameras are hard to operate, the discomfort fades away when you know what the result will be. And I just love that.
Oh, yeah.
It's absolutely amazing. The camera was so big that Nolan used mirrors to allow actors to be looking at each other during shots. So for eye lines, because the camera was so big during certain close-ups, right, they literally couldn't have the other actor positioned where they'd need to match their eye line. So they developed this mirror system that essentially, like, I mean, they set up a mirror to facing the other person. Mm-hmm. And it's cool hearing the actors talk about it because they say it's just like, it's a weird middle ground between Zoom and acting right there with somebody, you know. But that was what they had to do in that situation. It's pretty crazy. They also, because this is film, they could only shoot for 3 minutes at a time, right? So they had to, literally actors. There's a story about Matt Damon holding for like 15 minutes or something during the scene while he's in bed talking with Penelope. Mm-hmm. But they literally have to put in the film again. And then the actors have to stay in that moment. Yeah. It's crazy. No. Though Nolan talked about, there's actually, like, he thinks, he said Hitchcock would have a theory on this, but there's something about actors, sorry, I forgot what I was going to say exactly. There's something about actors having to hold that focus that makes it even better to an extent, because they know they have to be in it for a certain amount of time. But also, so, you know, they had to switch it out, right? So they had to switch it out very, very fast. So a lot of the people on set, like, talking about, like, Tom Holland, talking about pit stops, like a film, like a car. Yeah. And, interestingly enough, the carbon fiber components used in the cameras are the same materials used in Formula One race cars as well. So it's their literal pit stops.
That's crazy.
So yeah, IMAX 70mm is considered the pinnacle because it uses 15 perforation that runs horizontally, delivering an organic analog picture with an estimated... So this is... I saw this little thing, and it helped me understand a little bit better. The estimated resolution for IMAX is 16K. Damn. So, 4K?
Yeah.
Yeah. 16K.
That's wild.
No IMAX cameras were harmed during the production of this film, though Nolan has broken a few. At least 3 have been destroyed in a Nolan film, which is bad because they cost $500K.
I'm sorry to cut you off in the middle of this, but it was just something I thought about that I saw a few... Did you see at any points on the screen, like, those, like, little, like, neon, like, lines?
Yeah.
Like, I would see them just, like, ever so often. I would be like...
So, I think those... Are those hair dust? I forget, because it's the same as the little... And I forget what the word is, too. Maybe you should look this up, but should I turn the car on? It's getting so
It's getting
hot.
So hot in here.
Oh, my God, dude.
I didn't want to say anything, but I'm, like, sweating my ass off over here.
We're baking in here. Hold the phone, man. I gotta turn down the AC a little bit so it doesn't blow out the freaking speakers here. Yeah. But that'll help us out significantly.
Oh, yeah.
Could you look up what that's called real fast, the little white stuff? Because it's the same thing as the little dots that show up. And it's actually like it's almost a mistake. It's not supposed to have, but it's this nice little tag that shooting on film has that I think everybody loves at this point. To light the Troy night sequence authentically. This is what I was talking about the lighting too. They invented devices called pyrahydrons, triangle-shaped circuit boards with arrangements of LED cells that emitted light mimicking fire. So they literally built light to mimic fire in this movie. And I could see it. I mean, I was fucking talking about it.
Yeah,
I could see it. Key innovation that made exclusive IMAX filming possible was they built this thing called the blimp. So another problem with IMAX besides the size is the sound. It's super loud. The film's rolling through it, but it's so much bigger and louder than most cameras. So Nolan and his team literally built this thing called the blimp so they could encase it, and it could be completely silent. They tried to do it during Tenet, but failed. David Keeley, if you saw the movie, was in memory of, personally supervised the process and daily footage and completed his work on the film 3 weeks before his death on August 28th, 2005 at 77. The new IMAX camera made for this movie is now called the Keeley in his remembrance.
Aww.
It's pretty cool stuff right there.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, David Keeley, man.
Rest in peace.
Worked with Nolan for a long time. Costume designer made a deliberate choice to avoid the gleaming golden look typically given to bronze in movies. Instead, every piece was made by hand with chemical. I don't know. I was gonna bring this. It's a bunch of stuff, but
well, now I feel bad about talking shit on the. I was never talking shit about the costumes. Okay, that was never my point. It was just like they didn't stand out to me.
Yes,
you know.
I just think it's funny too because so many people are so pissed at the costumes in this because they're not from the age, and it's literally like, yeah, that's what they were not trying to make them from the Bronze Age. That's what it says. The production craned in 15 full-grown olive trees to a Troy set. Total number of costumes designed for the Odyssey was 5,300.
God damn.
Created by 500 people. The Temple of Athena, the largest building on the Troy set, was 48 feet, 8 inches. Pretty large. And the vast stone steps leading up to the plaza were built by hand.
Damn.
Each of the multiple Trojan horses stood 35 feet tall. It's pretty cool. And then we have a couple more categories here. Cast, crew, and filming. Tom Holland gave Nolan credit for not building his story around set pieces like Marvel movies do. This was one that I heard in an interview. And I thought it was so funny because he's around this group of, like, very serious actors. And he's basically saying, like, I was amazed because when we sit down for the Marvel movies, you know, we know what, like, big set piece that we want to hit, and then we try to get to them. And in this one, he, like, did the reverse. And I was like, yeah, Tom, that's how you make movies normally, buddy. And it's also, like, this is the worst example ever because you're saying this for the Odyssey, which is literally, like, he is doing the Marvel version of this, by the way. Right. He is taking the set piece. So just so much there.
That's funny.
So much to unpack. Anne Hathaway underwent weeks of weaving lessons with a specialist in Northern California for her ancient-style looms. This was a part of the movie that we didn't mention, where she's making this she's making this weaving thing, and when she finishes it, that's when the new king gets made.
Yeah, and then she's unraveling.
And she's unraveling it. Robert Pattinson knows.
Yes.
Because no access road could be built to the castle, executive producer Thomas Hayslip conducted a lift and assembled a small fleet of helicopters to haul equipment and supplies to the top. Despite this, most of the crew hiked up every single day of the 3-week shoot. This is a big part that I heard about in interviews. There's so much hiking and just locations that are just like, how do we get there? Oh, we're walking. Okay. Robert Pattinson told this story about the first day that he came to work on set. He gets to the hotel, and he's excited. He's like, you know, it's a nice hotel. He's working on Nolan film. It's probably going to be, like, all good stuff. And he's sitting in the lobby, and apparently everybody got back from filming that day, and they looked like they came from the trenches. That's what he said. And he was like, oh, all right, so this is what it's going to be.
It's funny.
Ludwig Göransson was focusing on ancient Greek instruments only. So bronze gongs, the lyre, and the flute. Some of those. He also spent 9 months producing for nearly 4 hours of music for the film and sent a 42-minute demo while principal photography was underway, continuing to send updates. It's pretty nice. Because as you know, Nolan doesn't use temp music, so he needs his music to edit too. So Ludwig is updating him all the time with new pieces.
That's sick.
Pretty awesome. And then our last little category, general film trivia. Christopher Nolan was initially attached, I think I mentioned this earlier, to direct Troy, which was loosely based on the Odysseys, on the Iliad, but he decided instead to direct Batman Begins.
Yeah.
This is the 13th full-length film directed by Academy Award winner Sir Christopher Nolan. Can you name the 12 other films?
Oh, God. There's no way I can. Should I name as many as I can?
Yeah, name as many as you can.
Okay.
Oppenheimer. Working back.
Interstellar. Prestige.
The Prestige.
Tenet. Then we have 3 Batman movies, right? There's Batman Begins.
Yep.
The Dark Knight.
Yep.
And is it Dark Knight Rises?
The Dark Knight Rises, yep.
I feel like I'm missing another one, like an obvious one. Am I?
Kind of. There's a few.
Inception?
Yes.
Memento?
Yes.
Fuck. I think that's all I got.
Wow, that's pretty good. Dunkirk? Following? There's one more. Insomnia.
Okay.
Dun, dun, dun,
The
dun.
3 that I haven't seen.
Well done. Well done.
So I got all of them that I've seen.
Killer. That was really good.
I got more than I thought I would.
You did a good job.
Okay, well, once I remember there were 3 Batman movies, that I was like, okay, that's 3 now. That's That's a little more.
Easy money. Well done, though.
Thanks.
The Odyssey is Christopher Nolan's second R-rated film, though it'd been 20 years before that since he'd done an R-rated movie. Insomnia was his first R-rated movie, then it was Oppenheimer, and now this is third.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Wait, that's crazy.
Yeah, like...
Because I'm thinking back on his other bit, I'm like, well, there's nothing in that would make it R.
Yeah.
Huh.
It's pretty nuts.
That's crazy.
He's done a good job.
Yeah.
But now he's got no reason to stop. And that was Gio's Hidden Gems. Cash or credit accepted.
Well.
Thank you.
All right, now it is time for the Critic Reviews.
Critic Reviews. Wow, that was my worst. First we have the good ones. Jeff Ewing from The Direct. The Odyssey is a masterpiece that fits the scale of its canon-defining material. An incredible showcase of filmmaking prowess for one of the most epic films in the decade, and a particularly bright spot in Nolan's, oh boy, Oeuvre. Overall. I don't know. But he gives it a 9 out of 10. We also have Neil Minow from Movie Mom. A grand, sweeping, meticulously diligent, new version in writer-director Christopher Nolan's epic version. Bristling with Oscar-winning talent and impressive seriousness of purpose. Yes. Thank you, Neil. On to the bad. Avi Offer from the New York City Movie Guru. A visually and orally stunning but emotionally hollow action-adventure that suffers from style over substance. Oh, fuck you. Sorry. I'm sorry.
Personal feelings getting in the way.
Samantha Morton deserves an Oscar for her raw, emotionally resonating performance as Cersei. Dude, that's a good shout, though, so Avi does know what he's talking about. Kind of. John Winkler from In Between Drafts. Instead of a movie too dense with complex logic, he's made something that's nearly vacant of any mythic power it once had. Quite the epic achievement. I assume that last line is sarcasm from John.
Right.
That's a 5 out of 10. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how you don't emotionally connect with this movie. Or this guy doesn't even think it's a spectacle somehow. He doesn't even think it feels, like, mythic. I feel like it feels so mythic for, like, the combination of mythos and reality in this movie is fucking amazing.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
Well, it is time for our ratings. Gio, you can take it away. First.
Well, I've never had higher expectations for a movie. That's for sure. And honestly, my expectations were matched. Like, that's all I can say. I think that it was a truly epic story that I had not heard before, and it was told in a way that just felt like every time that you wanted to be at a place, every time that somebody would start talking about being so, or just some event, you were instantly there, and you could stay there for 5 seconds or 20 minutes, and there was just something so cool about that when you have a story that's this vast. I think the action scenes were incredible. You know, so much of the practically built stuff is what went into that. And then just from the emotional perspective, as I was just saying a second ago, the fact that they were able to combine this huge, massive story that's so out of our world and still make it feel so human. Like, this character of Odysseus to me feels, compared to so many Nolan protagonists, like, he just has so much depth, man. I feel like I know him so much better, you know, and maybe it's because we get to see so much of his story. Maybe it's because of the performances and all the performances around him. The music, I mean, the cinematography, obviously. It's just, this is an epic that is, it's going to be remembered, you know? And like this, I think if you're looking at Nolan's projects, this is going to be one that sits near the top for a long time. Till he makes some other shit. So, for all that, I'm going to throw this one at a 4.9.
Ooh!
Out of 5.
Damn.
Like, what problems can I really draw? Like,
That's
the
so real.
dialogue, like, I can't, the amount of emotion, man, how, these little fucking, like, Anne Hathaway had maybe 7 minutes of screen time, you know?
Yeah.
Probably, like, and I still is, like, crying in her scene, like, it was just amazing, man.
Yeah.
Connection.
Yeah, no, I also had, of course, high expectations for this movie, but I also, if if you've listened to the podcast in the past, you may have heard my opinions on IMAX, and I do still kind of stand with my further points that one of my problems is just, like, not being able to see everything on screen. And then all of my problems, really, that I talked about with this movie was that I wasn't able to see things on screen, or I wasn't able to know what was going on. So that was literally my biggest problem, is I wanted to see more of what was happening on screen, on the giant fucking screen that was in front of me. And I was upset because, like, I personally was missing things from, like, blinking or, like, being forced to close my eyes from bright lights. And, like that truly is my biggest problem with this movie, which shows, what little, problems I have, because clearly a lot of nitpicking going on. But yeah, I don't know, I thought it was so incredible. The music, the cinematography, the acting, just, like, I don't know if I said it on here, but I said it at least right when we were walking out, of, like, there were so many moments, specifically just, like, those big, like, wide shots where it's, like, I could literally, like, feel, like, my stomach drop when I was watching them. And as soon as the movie ended, like, right after that ending, it went to, like, the black screen and then, like, the Odyssey, like, I literally felt my stomach drop in that moment. And it's been, like, a second since I've had a movie, like, make me sort of feel that way. So yeah, I thought it was absolutely incredible. I still do have my problems with the format, but that has nothing to do with, like, it literally has to do with, I like to be able to see everything that I'm watching at once, and I understand the immersive experience, and for this movie, specifically, it's like, okay, that completely makes sense of how I want to be, like, completely immersed in this world, and I really feel like I should be seeing it that way, you know, which is, it takes a lot for me to do that with IMAX when I don't particularly love it all the time, because I'm someone who really likes to pay attention to, like, the little details and type things in movies. So it just, like, seeing it in this format and enjoying it so much in a format that isn't necessarily always my jam, and just, like, really realizing, like, fuck, this is why this is the format that I completely get it now. It's just, like, sorry, I went a little off of the rails of the movie and onto the format, but that is a big part in my ranking.
And I didn't even mention that, so that's, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a huge
part. That's
part.
a big part of my ranking as well, but I think, yeah, I don't know. I don't have many problems with this movie. I think I'm gonna sit it, like, right below Gio at a 4.8.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good. You're not walking home. So, anything below 4.5
yeah,
would have been fireworks in here.
No, but an incredible film. Incredible film. I was so happy to see it. Opening night.
Yeah, dude.
70mm IMAX.
Unbelievable. Yeah, no, the format, I can't believe I didn't even mention that in my review, because that is, or I guess we did mention the whole thing.
Yes.
But that's such a good, I wonder how different this is going to be when I go watch it on my TV at home. You know?
Yeah.
Whenever it comes out.
Well, I also wonder if I'm going to have the same problems that I did when I watched it on my screen. It's probably going to be like, well, you were just mad. You felt like you were in that fucking fight, bitch. Okay, sit down. Like, I can imagine that's what because that's, like, literally the only, like, big problems I've had, other than, like, the costumes didn't stand out to me, like, and they were incredible, like, they're all such good costumes, like, really,
See,
an incredible film.
Calypso's with the, like, the fishnet as part of her dress.
I did, as soon as I saw that, I thought it looked a little, I don't know, a little tacky.
It did look a little weird.
Like, when I saw it at first, like, it looked very, like 2000, like, something.
Yeah. No, you're 100%
like a 2000s, like, music festival, like, vibe.
It was good.
No, but incredible film. I enjoyed it. Anything else?
I wish I had something else, man. I wish I had anything else to say. This was so much fun, dude. Happy to do it with you.
Happy to do it with you as well, is what I meant.
Wow, that sounded scripted.
Oh, Yeah, well, all of our episodes are
Fully, yeah.
completely scripted.
We're reading a page right now.
Yep. So, sorry.
I'm good.
Oh, okay. So with that, I'm Mara.
And I'm Gio.
So join us next week after opening weekend, because waiting to talk about movies is clearly not our thing.